everything as well as every being in the universe is created, sustained, and destroyed by the universal energy. Therefore, the main activity of the universal energy can be called transformation of the universal energy. In fact, the universal energy is nothing but an activity. The main activity is the transformation of the universal energy. But this universal energy has two aspects, a latent aspect as an active aspect. In science, the latent aspect of the universal is called static energy, while the active aspect is called kinetic energy. In this main aspect of active energy or kinetic energy, the main activity is transformation of energy. This energy in transformation within ourselves, within our own mind. In fact, Buddha's analysis of energy is not the physical energy outside us, but the activity of the mental energy inside us. Therefore, Buddha is a spiritual scientist, while what we call scientists in the modern world are scientists dealing with the physical aspect of the universe, the physical aspect of the universal energy, the kinetic energy. Even the mental energy too has these two aspects, the kinetic energy and the static energy. The main aspect of the kinetic or active energy of the mind is called dukkata by the Buddha. That is the main aspect of the mental energy. Energy is not a thing but an activity. The main activity of the mental energy as well as the physical energy of the universe is transformation of energy, transformation from one form to another form. Buddha, as I mentioned earlier, analyzed through his insight the aspects of the mental energy. In fact, he preached about the four aspects of the mental activity called transformation, dukkata. What is called Chatuari Satya, translated into English as Four Noble Truths, is nothing but the four aspects of the transformation of the mental energy. The enlightenment is the cessation of this transformation. This mental activity is referred to by the Buddha as mental magnetic attachment, resentment, and ignorance of the reality. Attachment to things by the mind, mental attachment, is called raga. That is a mental activity. That's a magnetic activity of attraction, getting attached to something. The negative aspect is resentment, repulsion, and mental activity of repulsion is called dosa in Pali, resentment in English. Both attachment and resentment are mental activities of transformation of energy. This attraction or attachment as well as resentment is caused by the ignorance of the reality of things and beings that the mind experiences, and the inability to see the reality of things and beings experienced of the mind is called moha. Attachment is called raga, resentment is called dosa, ignorance of the reality of things and beings as experienced by the mind is called moha. The basic reality of both the mental and the physical world is dukkha, but as I mentioned earlier, Buddha was concerned with the mental transformation called dukkha. The transformation of mental energy as well as physical energy is recognized and identified in theistic religions as a creator God. He is not only the universal creator, but also the sustainer and the destroyer. They are the three aspects of the creator God, both mentally and physically. However, this activity called dukkha, transformation of mental energy, is not a personal activity. It is an impersonal, automatic activity. The universal energy is not activated by a personal being called God. God is not a personal being, but only an impersonal activity, automatic activity. No one has seen a universal God activating the entire universe, the boundless universe, the timeless universe. The activities of the universe are boundless both in space and time. But the mental energy can be limited to a certain period by ending the activity of the mental energy, by ending the transformation. Transformation of mental energy is a mental activity that we call the thinking process. Ending of mental activity is the ending of the mental activity called thinking. Cessation of thinking. Cessation of thought creation. Creation of mental images which look real but actually not real. In fact, according to the Buddha, the entire world that we experience is made up of mental images, mental creations. Therefore, enlightenment means the cessation of the mental activity called loka in Pali, world or the universe in English. The mental world or universe is a reflection or a mental reproduction of the physical world or universe outside us. Both the activity of the mental and the physical energy or activity is identified in this religion as a creator God who is impotent. That is the all-powerful universal energy. That energy is not a personal being, but only an impersonal activity. The basic activity was referred to by Buddha as dukkata, meaning transformation of the energy, universal energy. As I mentioned earlier, Buddha was dealing with the transformation of the mental energy called dukkata. And the truth, the reality he realized at the enlightenment is called realization of the four aspects of the mental energy. As it leads to enlightenment, it is called Arya Satya, translated into English as noble four aspects of the mental energy. Energy is not a thing but an activity based on transformation. It is the transformation, as I mentioned earlier, that is referred to as dukkata. The cause of transformation as dukkha samudaya. The cessation of mental activity is called dukkha nirodha, and the technique of cessation or the path leading to the cessation of mental activity is called dukkha nirodha gamani patipada. These are the four noble truths that the Buddha taught the world for 45 years. And that truth, as I mentioned earlier, is with regard to our mental activity, which is basically transformation of the mental energy. It is the cessation of this transformation. It is the cessation of this mental activity called transformation that makes the mind peaceful. That is why the enlightened mind is called Santam Padam in Karnamita Sutta. A peaceful mind. Peace of mind we can call it. That one can experience after enlightenment until the final passing we call Nibbana. entering into the state of non-transformation is called dukkha nirodha, and Buddha defined dukkha in his first sermon called Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta as our thinking process. Sankiccena pantu padana kanda dukkha. Thinking process activated by mental magnetic activity. It is the electromagnetic activity. The magnetic activity of liking, disliking, and illusions cease at the enlightenment. That is cessation of the magnetic activity of the mental process. But until the final passing away, the body of an enlightened one as well as the mind of the enlightened one keep active through magnetism, or not magnetism, through electric power. Without electromagnetism, with pure electricity. Achieving such a mind is called the purification of the mind. The mind becomes purified of mental magnetism, leading to the positive aspect of attachment or liking and the negative aspect of resentment or disliking, which is caused by the ignorance of the reality of things and beings that the mind experiences. Realization of the reality, actual reality, is called becoming a Buddha. The Pali word bodheti, the verb bodheti, means realization of the truth. Buddha means realized, is the past participle. Buddha means a person who has realized. Personal being. Animated realization of the reality. Once the reality is received, mental activities comes to an end. Mental activity, thinking comes to an end. But the sensation is there. The sensory organs, 6 sensory organs, remains active till the final passing away. Therefore, the eye of an enlightenment can see, the ear can hear, the nose can smell, the body can touch, and the mind can retain mental images or data in the mind, memories. The mind becomes empty of memory after enlightenment, because thereafter the mind is not activated by the knowledge called memories, but by the realization of the truth at the moment, here and now. That too ceases at the final passing away. That is cessation, the final cessation of the transformation of physical and mental energy.